So in light of Donald Trump's press conference yesterday, which the media is running with the narrative that it was a wild press conference, there's much discussion about Trump annexing Canada or turning it into the 51st state. I'll say what I've said for a while, although the talk is getting increasingly serious. It's not a serious proposal to annex or make Canada or have Canada become the 51st state for reasons which I'll explain in a second. What it is a negotiation tactic. It's reminding the respective North American countries of their respective positions. And like it or not, it's a tactic of negotiations that you need to know how to negotiate from a position of weakness. And as much as Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh want to huff and puff and bloat and pretend they're negotiating from positions of power, they are not. So this is something of a reminder. We're going to head into tariff negotiations. We're going to head into trade agreements. We've got to address some security concerns that have now arisen. And Donald Trump is jokingly saying, let's make Canada the 51st state. Now, there's a couple of tweets. Justin Trudeau, he's really coming out strong, saying, snowball's chance in hell. That will be the Americans' 51st state. Jagmeet Singh says, fat chance. They're all talking tough. They're talking tough like a bunch of children who are feigning strength, like a bunch of disloyal spouses who are protesting too much. The reality is, glasses have fallen off the back of my head. The reality is that Jagmeet Singh and Justin Trudeau know what they have done to Canada. They know that they have rendered Canada a national security threat to America, a very existential threat to America. And so they have to protest a little too hard, feign out, how dare they insult him? Oh, you're a bunch of idiots. Trudeau, you've ruined the country. You can't announce your intention to resign fast enough. And Jagmeet Singh, you're going to get your butt handed to you at the next election. You should be voted out of your own party or the NDP, Jack Layton's party that you've destroyed. So they protest a little too much. Because I've got a sense of humor and understand the nature of negotiations, would have taken more of a lighthearted approach. Understanding and assuming that Canada's not going to become America's 51st state, I would have said to Donald Trump, are you sure you want all of those Canadians in Canada? You want to annex a bunch of Canadians who might be more anti-Second Amendment than Hochul out of New York? They might be a little bit more to the left than Commie California? You might want to think twice before you import tens of millions of people who are not going to vote for MAGA Trump conservatism. That would be the most obvious joke. The subtler joke, which I would have gone with and milked handily, would have been, all right, let's follow this through. You want Canada as a 51st state? Well, talking about Canada as though it's one state would be like talking about Texas and New York as though they were one state. Ideologically, culturally different by way of states in a republic. Well, Canada as a federation has provinces that are equally unique and distinct in terms of culture. So you're not going to just adopt 51st state. You're going to have your 51st, 52nd, 53rd, 54th, maybe 55th state. And we'll start with the maritime provinces. Newfoundland and Labrador. Prince Edward Island. Yes, because we have an island named after a prince, apparently. Nova Scotia. New Brunswick. You'll notice a bit of a trend here. New. Discovered parts of Canada, the Maritimes, have their own culture. They have their own practices. I would dare say if you've been to Newfoundland, they have their own language. So that will be one 51st state. Then you're going to have Quebec, formerly known as part of New France. A province with a federal party in the Canadian Federation dedicated to having Quebec withdraw from the Federation and become its own country. So you'll have to turn that into the 52nd state. You'll call that New France because it was already called New France at one point in time. Then you've got Ontario, which is arguably more Democrat, more left-leaning than Michigan. So that'll be the 53rd state we're up to now, and you'll call that one New Michigan. Then you've got Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, which could be analogized to more culturally the Texas of America. That will be the what are we up to now? 50, that'll be the 54th state. Then you've got British Columbia, which makes Portland, Oregon look quasi-sane by comparison. So that could either be annexed into Oregon, or it'll be the 55th state. And I forgot the North provinces, the territories. Those will be part of the 54th state with Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan. We'll call that New Texas. So you will have not just one new state, you'll have 4 new states to deal with. I don't know how we determine, the electoral votes that go to those states. It's not going to happen, people, but understand what is happening right now. Donald Trump is highlighting for the world and for Canadian politicians that they have turned Canada into a national security threat for America. You got Chinese Communist Party infiltration into the government. You've got terrorists making their way into Canada and making their way into America because of Justin Trudeau's ridiculous immigration policies. He's destroyed the country, hopefully not beyond repair. But what Donald Trump is doing right now is not serious discussion of annexing Canada. It's just trying to remind Canada who carries the big stick in North America and who doesn't, and how you have to work together in that sense. You can't have the country negotiating from a position of weakness, also creating national security threats for the country that basically ensures its safety. Whether you like to admit it or not, they are important commercial partners, but America ensures Canadian safety. And despite what Justin Trudeau is doing, with all that being said, having Canada create an existential national security threat for America, they might need a bit of a reminder. And the new government coming in as much as they don't like it, might have to understand that in terms of negotiating with Donald Trump. So that's what it is, in my humble opinion. Right now, I have to go get ready to do another episode of The Unusual Suspects. If you like what I do, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, and follow me. VivaBarnesLaw.locals.com, Viva Fry on Rumble, and The Viva Fry on Twitter, where, be forewarned, I swear. Peace out.
Why are we supporting a country, 200 billion plus a year? Our military is at their disposal. All of these other things, they should be a state. That's why I told Trudeau when he came down, I said, what would happen if we didn't do it? He said Canada would dissolve. Canada wouldn't be able to function if we didn't take their 20% of our car market. You know, they send us hundreds of thousands of cars. They make a lot of money with that. They send us a lot of other things that we don't need. We don't need their cars, and we don't need the other products. We don't need their milk. We got a lot of milk. We got a lot of everything. And we don't need any of it. So I said to him, well, why are we doing it? He said, I don't really know. He was unable to answer the question.
Petition that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as prime